Hello, it's Vivi Leroy with Modern Jewelry Makers. Thank you for joining me. This is part 3 of our new earrings for a new year short series where I just made a bunch of beautiful sparkly new earrings for January 2023, and there's too many to put in one video, so I just broke it into 3 series, and this is the last one. And I have been showing like 2 earrings each video so that I could show you how to make them, kind of break down the details. And this one is, I really just have the one beautiful Rhinestone Shimmer, but I'm going to show you another one that I started. I'm just still fleshing it out, but it is using the rhinestone chain. So I will share that with you in just a second. But I love her, and so we're going to do a quick tutorial because it's pretty easy to make. And a couple of things about her. This pair I have on, they're just a little short for me. The length of the chain is about 1.5 inches, and so the entire earring is probably 2 inches. I would like them just a tad longer. When they are completed, we need to cut the chains, evenly so they're, flush. And, just to get them even, I cut them shorter, kind of like when you're cutting your own bangs. And so this is where they ended up. But I made one a little bit longer. And so we're going to make her pair today, her match. So I just like it a bit, especially if I was wearing them on their own without maybe a necklace. And, I like it a bit longer. But here she is a little close up if you haven't seen her. I've had it on the website and in our customer email. But I just love it. It's a style, it's a previous class I had at our bead store, but I've updated it a little bit, different chains and things. Another thing about her is she needs this kind of larger, fancier ear wire that is large enough to kind of cover the bottom loop. Normally on an ear wire, that loop is exposed, right? But on this one, I just want it mostly covered so you don't see as much of it. So, and this particular manufacturer only makes this one in gold. So I'm sure there are other styles out there that would work in silver, but so we have her in gold. Like all the jewelry I show on this channel, this is available as a kit, but so are all the individual materials if you only need the ear wire or want some of the chain, etc. I'll leave the links down below. Otherwise, these videos are just hopefully to inspire you and give you ideas of jewelry you can make with the materials that you already have. And we're just sharing the sparkle. If you'll like and subscribe if you have not done that. Oh my God, I asked at the beginning for once. Okay, yay. Okay, so I have one long, one short. We're going to make the long one to match. Now, I was going to show the other one that I started. Now, I know you're going to be like, that's not very exciting. But it's just, I want to use the rhinestone chain. And this is using the smaller one. The rhinestone chain comes in several sizes. I'll show you some samples. And so this might be like, oh, big deal. But I really think it's pretty. It's not finished, but it's only like 6 inches of the rhinestone. And then I wire wrap them together and did a short ear wire. And so it's not completed, but I want to do like a little crystal wrap on the top of that wire wrap, or a cluster right there. Something, but I just think that they're really chic and elegant. I like things to look really clean and modern. So that's where she is. But I liked that it could be made with, here, I'll put down the other long one. Any size of the rhinestone chain. And we could dangle something from it. So there's other options. I just want to play with them. Like I was mentioning, here's some sizes. I had pulled some pieces of chain. All right, so here's a 2 millimeter, which is what we've been using tonight. And then this is a 3mm, a little bigger one, and then here's a 4mm that's even larger. So it just depends what you're doing. You know, like this little bracelet, I think that bracelet uses a 3, right? There's one of our bracelets that uses a different one. So we use them for different designs. And this earring could have easily done like a larger size. Like here's that, again, that 3mm. There was no rule that said I had to use the smaller one. It's pretty with the larger one. Just preferences. So, okay. I'm going to tip you down in just a second. Couple things. The rhinestone chain doesn't have a loop at the end, right? So it needs a special crimp at the end. It's like a little setting crimp that crimps on the last stone. It has a loop on the end, so that way you can attach it to things. So we'll do that and put everything together. Okay. Let's tip you down. Sorry, we're doing a very low editing video tonight. I'm filming in a slightly different area in my place because we're doing this at night, and so hopefully you can still see everything. Okay. This earring uses 2 different chains, well, technically 3 if you count the rhinestone, but otherwise, for like its little curtain of chain, I've used 2 styles. This little twisted chain and then the little kinked cable chain. And I actually used both of these in the first video when we did the chandelier earrings. I used that same chain. I just love it. It's very sparkly. But you could use any kind of dainty chain, right? As long as it was the same kind of thickness, I guess. And I already have these cut in 2.5-inch lengths. And that, again, is to do the long one. The shorter one that I'm wearing is 1.5 inches. And they don't have to be exact right now because we're going to cut them even later. But they're approximate, and then I have them just laid out alternating. And let's see. Let's do the crimp on the end of these. So these chains are going to hook on our jump ring, and obviously the little cable link is going to go on, no problem. But the twisted chain doesn't have a loop at the bottom. So we need to put a little cord end crimp on her. If you were wire wrapping to it, that would work fine, going through that end link. But we need to use a little cord end crimp that looks just kind of like that with the loop. I've actually done 2 complete videos on this channel that walk through demoing those in different sizes. So I'm still going to demo it here, but just pretty quickly. So we use a crimping plier. There's 2 stations in a crimping plier, right? Top and the bottom. We're going to just use the top one. You place the cording crimped in the top station, like I was saying, with the loop facing out, open side up. I'm kind of in the middle of the crimp. I'm going to take the chain, drop it down so it fits. Once it is in there to the top, then I'm going to give her a squeeze and squeeze again, and then turn and squeeze again. Now, it doesn't really matter how it looks most of the time. Most times we don't see it. It's just most important that it stays on, right? So we can hook it to something. In all of our kits, I always throw in a couple extras of like these and jump rings and, things that in case they fly away or you make a boo-boo, you have some extras. Because when I'm not there, if we were doing class in person and that happened, I just give you another one. But since I'm not, I always want to make sure you have some extras. So the rest of those I have ready to go. Then on the rhinestone chain, here's just a little sample. It uses that little end piece. It's almost like almost box looking thing that goes on the very end rhinestone, and it has 2 little teeth at the top, and you match the size up with the size of the chain. So this goes for the 2mm. And I'm going to show you how to do this one and then show you some options too, because it can be tricky to do. I'm going to actually open this up just a little bigger with 2 chain knots. So you can spread that apart a little bit to make it easier to get the stone in. So they can be tricky. They can also be not expensive, but not cheap. And ours are just the plated, but they're still like 25, 35 cents a piece. And so if you mess them up, yeah, it can be pricey. So I'm going to show you another alternative. So just like the other crimp we did, this goes on the top of the crimping plier. Turn her over. I'm going to place the top stone, or first rhinestone, inside that little box or setting and squeeze this gently on the side. Now we're not done. Then I'm going to tip it, turn it, because those little teeth are at the top. So I'm going to kind of turn it to the side, fold one down, turn it to the other side, fold it down. So the little teeth fold over the top. And you want to be really gentle because you don't want to break the rhinestone, right? But then that's it. That's a little end is on there. Now, if you don't have those, and I guess this would only apply for the smaller one, you could also use a bead tip. And technically this is a calotte, but some people call it a bead tip. It's just a little cup that would cover a cord, or I mean a knot end, and has a loop on the end. Technically, a bead tip is a cup that has a hole, so there'd be a hole right where my wrists are. This does not have that. This goes over the knot as opposed to stringing through. But that's okay. This will work on here if you, like I said, didn't have the right kind of crimp or you broke or something. So I'm opening that up just a little bit. The other thing I'm going to do before I squeeze it on is turn the loop a little bit, because it's going the wrong direction. So I want to turn that just a tad. Okay. And then I'm just going to place it in the crimping plier again. It's a little cup, side facing up. Then I'm going to drop the first stone in there. A little rhinestone. Whoops, whoops, whoops. I got it caught in the wrong one. Okay. Place it in there. And squeeze around it. And that'll hold. You know, it doesn't look as nice because it covers the stone more, but it does hold, you know, which is what's most important. I'm going to turn that a little bit more. And the loop is not facing the right direction. So there we go. So you just need to turn it gently. And there we go. And so that would work if we had to do that. It's just, and those are a lot less expensive. They're like a third of the price. So lots of options. Okay, let's put our earring together. So she uses this fancy ear wire. And I'll tell you, like a lot of the findings, these, when they come in, they're all kind of jacked up and I have to reshape them and stuff. But they're very, very, very pretty. I spend a lot of time matching them up beautifully before I would give them to a customer. Okay, so there's a little loop in the back. We're going to open that loop to the side. There's a little break at the top. Gently, 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 gently. So the last thing I want to do is break that loop. Then I'm going to string on the loop on the chain, rhinestone chain, on the end of that finding. Come on. Come on, let's get on there. There we go. And I'm going to close this back up. Very gentle, gentle, gentle. Closed. She's on there. There's our rhinestone chain. And I'm going to take our 6mm jump ring and open her up to the side and string on our chains in the order There you go. So I have 5 pieces of this little kinked cable, so that there's so they're on the outside. I just think because they have more sparkle, and then 4 of the twisted chain. And again, you can use any dainty chain you want. They don't have to be different styles. They could all be the same style. I just like the kind of juxtaposition of these. The way they both sparkle, but differently, you know. But this is a great way to use your leftover chain remnants. So they, you know, again, don't have to be the same. They can all be different as long as they're all the same, you know, basic, you know, size, thickness-wise. Okay, so the lengths we don't really care about so much right now. But we got them all on there, right? Just like a little curtain. Then, while this is open, I'm going to put that through the loop on the ear wire. And close her up. Ta-da! And there she is. Ready to go be beautiful with her sister. Now, we have to trim. We have to do a little trim so that they're even. And the first thing, I'm going to use this stand. Okay. Because the first thing I want to do is make her even to herself. And then I will make it even to the other one. See how right now they're she's slightly longer. Let me trade spots. So there's the one I already made. Here's the one I just made. So it's a little bit longer, right? This one I just made. See how it's a little different links. So first thing we want to do is get her even to herself. And you don't want to use your good wire cutter. You want to use a little bit thicker, heavier cutter. So you can trim through those so you don't get big, you know, gouges in your cutter. Okay, so a little bit more. Come on. Okay, she still needs more. There we go. Okay. I can play with it a little bit later, but that is basically it. And there they are, so pretty. Okay, let's tip up, tip up. So we're done almost. Okay, move the light out of the way. Okay, all right. So these are the ones that are 1.5. So the kit, I forget how much this kit is. It's right around $22, like that, $24. And you can make it up to this length. Come on. I want to get there. We go. Oh, that's this one. Where is the longer one? There we go. So pretty. So it's just, I just think it's a better, you know, length for me. That is the beauty about making them yourself, jewelry yourself, because you can make it the length you want, right? So very pretty. They're just a classic, but kind of still really modern. So pretty. That's what we do here. We make modern jewelry. Okay. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in my next video, which is, now we're getting ready for Valentine's Day. And I have a whole collection of Valentine's Day jewelry. And so we'll be doing a short series again so I can show those to you. This is one of our little dancing hearts bracelets, right, that I had last year, but I've made it into a necklace for this year. And we've got some new pendants and things too. So I'll be starting another series just in time for Valentine's Day to show you the latest designs in time for that holiday. Thank you again for joining me. And until next time, sparkle brightly like the star that you are. Mwah! Peace.